Who's from Toronto?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're-
I was born at St. Michael's Hospital, but I grew up
yeah.
in Oshawa.
I was born at Scarborough General, but I grew up in Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know why we're saying our hospitals.
Yeah, I just realized I wasn't born here, but I was raised here.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm Torontonian. I was raised here.
You've been here for a long time?
25 years, so like, yeah, I was I came when I was about 6, 7.
My name is Matthew Sauvé and I play Jake.
My name is Tommy James Murphy. I play James and I'm the writer.
My name is Andrew Ravindran and I'm the director.
Disrepair features Andrew Ravindran, Matthew Sauvé, Tommy James Murphy, and John Reardon in lead roles. The storyline tackles addiction, centers on family relationships, and is sure to spark conversations about mental health. I spoke with 3 actors from the show, which premieres January 29th during Bell Let's Talk Month on Fibe TV1. The music is also a big deal. The show's original title song was written by Simon Wilcox and Scott Hellman. Wilcox has written songs for Nick Jonas, Tinashe, Demi Lovato, and Selena Gomez.
You made it your home, so what do you think? What do you think of the city?
I love it. I love the culture about it. I love our food scene. I think, yeah, I mean, I love being in Canada. I love going. It's not just Toronto. I love going to other parts of Canada, from Montreal to Newfoundland and to Vancouver. I love how vast and big we are. So, and I feel like secretly there's so many films that I can tell just by filming in Canada. Like, it feels like how Peter Jackson loves New Zealand, how he used Lord of the Rings. I'm like, I want to do that for Canada.
Yeah.
Just shoot around. It's beautiful. We're so scenic and so beautiful.
Where was it filmed?
Oshawa, mainly, and well, I mean, the setting is taking place in Oshawa, and obviously Oshawa has a big opioid crisis scene, so that's part of what our Disrepair story is about. So it's all in Oshawa. Yeah.
In a studio or at specific locations?
It's all locations.
Various locations.
Yeah, various locations throughout Oshawa. Because we really wanted to capture the realness of the city of Oshawa as well.
So can you name some of the places that people may
St.
recognize?
Matthew's Anglican Church, that's on Wilson Road.
Johnny's Diner.
Johnny's Diner on Park. And then there was a lot of the walking, a lot of the streets we wanted to catch. So Oshawa is, as you know, GM, right? City that motivates Canada. So it's a very, it's a smaller version of like Hamilton. So it's got like those train tracks, the broken down areas and stuff like that. So scenic's like, you knocked it out of the park, you and Riv, when you captured those shots.
Yeah. Just trying to get an authentic feel of Oshawa.
Yeah. So would you say Oshawa is in a state of disrepair?
That's good.
You know what? Like I think that the opioid crisis is global, and I think we filmed it in Oshawa, but it's a message that goes around the world. I've never met a person. I'm in recovery myself, so I can relate to my character Jake in that sense. But I've never met a person who doesn't have a niece, nephew, cousin, parent, or even themselves been affected by addiction in any way, shape, or form.
So this is why you chose to call the production Disrepair?
Because this is why we chose this title, because there's a lot of shows that show you the active and sensationalized drug use. This show starts with Tommy, who plays my brother James, picking me up from rehab. So I'm in recovery. So it's showing the damaged relationships that happen from using. Addiction's a disease of deception. You're hurting a lot of people that you love. So when you come out, getting off of the substance that you're addicted to is kind of step one, I hate to say. Because when you come back, you need to mend a lot of relationships. There's a lot of people that need to forgive you. You need to forgive yourself. And that's what we're trying to focus on to give hope.
And so that fuels your take on the role, or what you contribute to the role.
What
You
I
think
contribute to
your
the
personal
role.
experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Authenticity. I related to Jake very much simply in the very sense that we're both in recovery, and we both It hasn't been a linear. Sobriety was not linear for us. It was a lot of relapse, going back into relapse, and then you'll see in the show the family members are fed up. What's next? When is he going to relapse next? He's hurt a lot of people. So that's what that's about. It's about the journey of Jake's trying to get redemption with his family and like earn their trust back, and he's and at the same time trying to learn self-love again.
There he is. How was the meeting?
Erica called me from an unknown number.
Okay, so did you go to the meeting?
Didn't you hear me? I said Erica changed her number. I was in no position to go in.
Okay.
Again, Jake? What the fuck? What's your problem, man? What's your problem?
It's not what's your problem.
What is your problem with me?
Come on. This is our life too. Why are you hating me so much? Stop envying him, okay? Let him stand on his own 2 feet for once.
Matthew's been my best friend for 10 years, and how we've been there for each other, we brought that to the screen to show, like Matthew was saying, authenticity, like the realness of brothers. Like for us, we're not blood, but we're family, right? And he's been there for me through thick and thin, and Andrew, who's our brother as well, thick and thin. So Andrew really captured the realness of like actual brothers, how they apologize, how they talk to one another, right? And so that's what we really wanted to bring to the screen.
All three of you knew each other
Previously, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it just came about authentically as well, the fact that you wanted to cast the blood brothers, I guess familial.
I think Tommy should tell the origin.
Yeah. So what happened is I had this story that I really wanted to tell, right, about a family and about brothers like overcoming a situation about addiction. And I pitched it to Andrew, and he's like, "This is great." And I knew from the bottom of my heart there's only one person who could basically carry this, and it would be Matthew. So I pitched him the idea, and he was like, "When do we start?"
Yeah.
Right? Because his story, I've known it personally through the last 10 years, and he could bring the truth to this, right? And because one thing is like when you're on the screen, you get caught if you're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right, and Matt's performance in it, he tells the truth every single take, and that's what we really wanted to bring.
Okay. So how, with your past experience, how was it with your family? What kind of relationship do you have with your family now? And just to share, because I think that a lot of people, when they go through things, they don't realize they're in a haze for one. Drug-induced, but people normally don't realize how they're treating their family members when they're in situations like that. So what is your relationship like now after that?
So I'm the only one in recovery, so I will answer that. Yeah, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. I lost a marriage. When I first went to rehab in 2011, I was in the CAMH. I was in the medical detox unit, and I missed my daughter's 8th birthday. And over the next 4 years, I was in and out of rehab, like basically just relapsing sobriety. Hurt a lot of people, felt a lot of guilt for the damage that I caused. To fast forward now in recovery, my daughter's 21. We have a great relationship. Even though it didn't work out with her mother and I, we're great friends. And I got to take my daughter Anne to Europe one summer. Like, these are things I would never be able to do in the throes of addiction. So, your family tends to start when they distancing themselves when you keep relapsing, it's a kind of a protection because they're scared of getting that phone call. it's kind of like a natural, organic thing that happens in a family. And but if you can stay in recovery for long enough, you can build that trust back where they can, you know, they can trust you again. And so there is hope. Like, the story is very raw and dark and authentic, but we also have that hope where you can come back from the darkness into the light again.
What was your experience like with rehab? I know I'm fixated on it. This is well, the focus is on mental health and coming back from it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a nice twist, but not everyone comes back.
Exactly. So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. CAMH, the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, I'm still a client there to this day. They saved my life. And I think one of the reasons is because they always embraced me with empathy. There was no judgment when I was judging myself. First time I ever heard that addiction was a disease was in CAMH, and I'm like, sorry, what are you talking about?
How old were you?
I was 32, I think. I'm 46 right now, so let's do the math. September 2001 when I went in. Actually, I turned 33. I missed my daughter's birthday, and I turned 33 in my first time in rehab. Yeah, and they have a circle of care. They have a psychiatrist. They have counselors. They have addiction specialists.
I'm grateful to tell the story because I feel like, by the way, I think those two have said a lot of the great things about it, but I think the way we told it was not sensationalizing it, not glamorizing it, and telling it honest and truthful, but it was about this aftermath storyline that I always kind of cared about, because that's what reality is. You know, this is what happens on folks. It's a redemption arc of Jake Thomas, and I'm grateful that I got to tell something about the ongoing thing of trying to feel some form of redemption. I think that's important. Yeah.
And in the end, you might save someone.
Yes, and I hope we do, because it shows about the feeling of asking for help, how important that is. You know, it's doesn't hurt to ask for help. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt yourself. It doesn't hurt anyone.
Can you talk about your start in film?
Yeah, I guess I'll start first. I finished my acting program in 2013. Did a bunch of short films that went kind of nowhere, but I guess it taught me how to make stuff. And then I was working as an actor, auditioned, and then just like a few years, I think Tom and I produced a film. That's where I also met Matthew, and we all really bonded. And then I think while doing this, I did wanted to direct, and out of nowhere, just had Matt's suggestion, like, hey, you should direct this, and then and now I found this like other life of directing because of doing this. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were an actor. What productions were you?
Well, just a bunch of short films. I'm on Creepy Bits, which is like a horror series that's here on Midnight Dreamers. Is a movie that we're about to release in about a couple months now. Our feature. Yeah.
So the Midnight Dreamers is your production?
Yeah, that's a different feature film. That's where we all met, actually. That's
where I introduced these two guys.
As well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a dystopian thriller about a man that's trying to save his brother from being geez, it's been such a while since I've been telling this.
Don't give away any spoilers, dude.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to give away the whole spoilers. It's a dystopian chase thriller where it's really focusing on modernizing slavery and around the world. That's all I can say about it as well. But in about a month or two, we're gonna be done. And we're gonna try to release it out. So I'm excited for that as well.
And can you talk about the lead actors in that, or the musicians?
In this or
in the Midnight Dreamers.
Me, him, these three, and then that's about it.
That's us three.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
collaborating.
Okay. And what about you? What's the history there? with
Well,
the-
I started in the industry as a photo double and stand-in for James Franco. So that's how I broke.
That's
into
why I was trying to think, why do I
Yeah.
recognize your
I
face?
started up that. Got so much experience behind the camera as well, and then I ended up doing my own thing, collabing with these two fine gentlemen, and making our own projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do people always think you're James Franco
Sometimes,
or his brother?
yeah, the taller one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yourself?
Yeah, and this kind of ties into recovery. I found acting when I got sober. I trained with Robin Kay. She's here in Toronto.
So coremagazines.com is a culture publication. We started in 2014 here I live in Toronto for a long time. So I wanted to ask, what do you think of when I say culture?
That's such a. I think of unity. Culture unites people of around the globe. So when I think of culture, I think of unity. I think of ways people can unite, and how beautiful that is. I love being a Canadian because of that. So yeah.
Mine's history and love when I think of culture. Yeah, it's like your history of your culture brings everyone together, and everyone's having a great time. Yeah.
And I think melting pot, especially if you love good food. There's so many different restaurants around, and all the cultures that have come from all over the world. It's like, wow, like it's Toronto's really a beautiful place for that. It's really an example of, it's like yeah, it's kind of like a mini version of what the planet Earth is.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about thank you. I wanted to talk a little bit about the music and how that was produced. If it was produced specifically for the production, and who's involved with that.
So there was an original song written by Simon Wilcox and Scott Hellman. And so Simon is a very close friend of mine. She's actually the godmother of my daughter. And when I was in LA, I lived with her. And I remember when we first got the green light for the show, she said, "Oh, I'll write a song for you." Then a year later, when it's time to do that, it blew my mind, the ballad that she wrote, Disrepair, with Scott Hellman. I gave her a rough cut a few months earlier, and I still can't believe how good that song is and how much it matches the tone. It's like, she's so talented, I don't even know where to begin. And I love that woman to death. Yeah.
So the tone of the film is kind of gloomy, or is it? What is the tone?
I'm trying to display hope and optimism, even though like part of recovery can be very hard. Even though I don't want to spoil what happens in the end, I'm just constantly trying to make sure, because I felt like the thing that I've loved about the song is it is also there's a feeling of hope and optimism, but also Max White, my composer, I just said, hey, listen, I don't want to double down on Jake's pain or lead character. I need a score to show that there is light in the tunnel. Redemption is an ongoing sacrifice, but redemption is a beautiful thing if you can see it through, and that was a big thing. So that's what I hope to achieve as well. Yeah.
Okay, looks gloomy to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is probably the gloomiest part of the show.
Yeah.
Actually, so we definitely chose the right picture for the poster.
Yeah.
Looks like you.
Oh no, I go to Disneyland right after this. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So, what is the best time that you had while making this film?
Mine personally would be eating Whoppers with John Reardon.
The camaraderie between, it wasn't dark. Yeah, it's funny you said it was dark to film that, but there was, my memories are laughing with Tommy, Andrew, John, and what a great guy he is. Like salt of the earth, just such a humble man. He got on a plane, flew here. I was so touched that he did that because it's for such an important cause, the opioid crisis. But yeah, we had some great laughs.
Yeah.
Like I know it won't look like it. It looks like it's the most depressing set ever, but it was actually
It was a
lot
loving
of
set.
laughs.
Yeah. There,
Loving-
I
it's a loving
I
set.
will say there are moments of hope and optimism in this, and John played a great role. But I think my favorite day was when these three were there's a scene in them in the backyard tossing football, and you know it could have gone any other way, but I felt like I was watching a family drama that and these actors have been rehearsing for years or like in a stage play, but it was just so authentic and so real. I remember watching and going, oh wow, I have something so much more than what I thought I did, and I'm so grateful for it. But I think it's a beautiful, inspiring story too. And it's not just bleak and gloomy. I assure you, there's a lot of other things going at it as well.
Okay. I think I ran out of questions.
Yeah.
Those are some great questions.
No,
Thank
those are
you
some great
so
questions.
much. Thank you.
Is there anything that you would like to share?
Just that I really hope this gets legs, and I hope it gets out there because the message is we want to help people. I think the mission statement is we want to help people.
Yeah.
And if one person picks up a phone, calls to get help, I need help, I'm addicted to something. That's what I want to share. Like this is bigger than being actors and directors and look at us on whatever TV or whatever. The message is you're not alone and you don't have to suffer in silence and you can reach out for help.
I'm Cherryl Bird, editor of CoreMagazines.com. Remember to click the like button and hit
Appreciate it.
subscribe. Thank you.